Saudi zusammen! This is the first episode of my podcast Brainstorm that I'm releasing as a YouTube video. If you want to listen to my other episodes, check the links in the YouTube description below. Brainstorm is a podcast about thoughts and reflections in business, social media, and creative life. I'm your host Metin Senler, and I'm not trying to convince you here that the quality of your work doesn't matter. Quality is very important. However, we can all get paralyzed by this expectation of how great something has to be. Take this episode as an example. There's so many things one could consider when creating a podcast or a YouTube video, or both. Do I have the right story? Is it engaging enough? Does the music fit well? Is the episode long enough? Better think some more again in case I missed something. You see where this can go. You can also get blocked by how many things you think you still need to learn before you can actually start creating. Correct lighting, correct speaking, storytelling, editing, sound. It gets even worse when you jump into the rabbit hole of gear and tools. Because in your mind you're thinking, I just have to spend some money on this thing here, and magically all of my work will be better. And then you're disappointed to find that you still haven't recorded a podcast, but did spend $3,000 on a studio microphone just to realize that your voice still sounds pretty much the same. What I'm trying to say is, perfection often serves as an excuse not to do something. Perfectionism is the reason why so many podcasts stay unreleased, so many videos stay unpublished, so many bands hide in their basements all over the world, practicing and practicing every week for years whilst never playing a show or recording a song because they are apparently just not ready yet. Perfectionism is what tells you to spend your hard-earned cash on an expensive guitar, digital camera or microphone when deep down you know that you could have recorded your new YouTube tutorial with just your smartphone. I also often encounter this form of perfectionism in the startup and entrepreneurship world. Everything seems to get blown out of proportion. How many times have I heard the story that in order to start a company, you absolutely need a detailed business plan, an overthought budget, a growth strategy for the upcoming 5 years, and so on. And that it's best to have these things checked by some expert and verified by a consultancy firm, where in reality, all you have to do is sign some papers and hand in a few documents to found your company. Nobody ever asked me about the business plan. Of course, I understand that making one can help with getting your business up and running or convincing some investors. However, I notice how discouraging or paralyzing this approach of everything has to be ready before we start can be to people with good and valuable ideas. So, what's actually going on? Why make up excuses not to do something? I believe perfectionism can often serve as a front that we can put up so that we don't have to confront ourselves. Think about it. There might be fear involved. Fear of being judged by others. The fear that if your work does not fit the expectations of others, that you might lose respect in the eyes of people close to you. Or even the fear of losing whatever you think is emotionally valuable to you in the eyes of people you barely know. I see this often with people who gain a lot of their sense of self-worth from outside. And I have to say, it makes me sad. If you're someone who struggles with this, try reminding yourself that many people actually don't think much about you. People have their own struggles, their own thoughts and ideas and dreams. If they criticize something that you've done, it's likely that they're actually talking to themselves instead of you. I know that saying, "Who cares what everyone else thinks? Just do it anyway," won't solve this problem. But you can work on it and even improve it over time. And it all starts with being more aware about it. Others romanticize something and create an ideal world in their minds that reality can never live up to. For example, many kids and some grown-ups nowadays have this modern rockstar fantasy of being a YouTuber or influencer. Something like, all you need to do is put out a few videos, people will love it and watch it by the millions. You'll be admired and invited to exclusive events and you'll never have to work again.
Easy!
So cool.
Nope.
Some people also tend to think about creative work as inherently rewarding and intensely gratifying, like they're in some blissful meditative state where they are at one with the universe and creativity just flows. Well, as a content creator, I can tell you that the reality of producing YouTube videos or any creative output involves a lot of hard work. Often it doesn't just flow, and there are setbacks and pitfalls which no amount of preparation or studying can eliminate. It's quite understandable, of course, that you get discouraged when you build up lofty images in your head and reality doesn't present itself the way you imagined. What can you do in these situations? The key here is to confront your own perceptions and your own ideals. Try to understand what exactly it is that you're looking for. Like, if what you want is to be admired, maybe creating videos is actually not the way to do it. You might want to think about how to achieve that in another way. Could be by writing, painting, or directly helping others. Or if you're looking to find some meditative flowing state, I would recommend you to look for that in something that you've already been practicing for a long time, but never thought could be a meditative flowing state at all. This can range from filling in a spreadsheet to cleaning up your space. Or just learn to dial down your high expectations of immediate gratification and maybe dial them up to expectations of long-term gratification. Buying something physical is much more tangible than dealing with a fuzzy feeling of fear and dread. I always talk about the specific person, the one who buys all the gear, who has a vast collection of, let's say, expensive guitars and amplifiers in his cellar and a huge pedal board. But ask him about the last time he played any one of them and he can't give you an answer. Don't get me wrong, it's not wrong to buy gear. Do you like to play with all these things? Awesome. Are you a collector? Great. Do you just want to hang out and enjoy yourself? Never stop. But if you find yourself grumbling about others achieving a dream of yours, then you should recalibrate yourself. Here are some tips to confront your perfectionist mindset. Action is crucial. Playing shows is just as valuable as is rehearsing in your garage. Get out there, release something. Finish your open projects. No, don't make a list first. Just go, finish the first thing that's on your mind. Start before you're ready. There's actually no perfect state of readiness, but the more you do, the more experience you will have. Action is practicing. The more projects you do and finish, the more you're practicing at the same time and the better you will get. Consistency is key. Yes, quality matters, but putting out a steady stream of work is much more important than producing something with big gaps in between. Your quality will improve the more you're doing. Remind yourself, people don't think that much about you. And if they say things to you, they're probably giving advice to themselves. Don't dwell on mistakes. Learn from them, actively analyze them, and go to the next thing. Also, it's very okay to do nothing if that's what you want to do. Just as much as nobody is telling you to do anything in a perfect way, nobody is telling you to do anything at all. So, that's all I have to say about perfectionism. I really hope this motivates you to go and do what you've been wanting to do for a long time. Send me a link to your work. If you like this episode, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe, of course. And if you want to watch more, then feel free to do so, like here. And if you want to listen to more podcast episodes, like I said in the beginning, there are links down in the description below. All right? Thanks. Peace.